When we talk about the Old West, what always comes to mind are gunfights, outlaws, saloons, and gunfighters. In this video, we will get to know some of the famous gunslingers of the Old West that made it to our top list. The term gunslinger is a modern term often used in cinema or other media. To the end of the video, and let's see if your favorite made it to our list. William L. Buffalo Bill Brooks. Brooks was born in Ohio. He was an American soldier, a showman, and a buffalo hunter, hence the name Buffalo Bill. He was the producer of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. He was also a Pony Express rider at the beginning of the frontier. He was involved in 15 gunfights during his first month as town marshal in Dodge City. According to legend, Brooks went to Montana where he tried to become the city marshal, but because of Brooks' reputation, was instead passed over in favor of Morgan Earp. Several months later, Brooks with two other men were arrested for theft. Brooks was lynched while waiting trial on July 29, 1874. Henry "Billy the Kid" McCarty. Billy the Kid was born Henry McCarty in 1859, but is also known by the pseudonym William A. Fugitive. Billy the Kid returned to New Mexico after the murder of a blacksmith in Arizona to join a band of cattle. He was tried and convicted of Brady's murder and was sentenced to be hanged, but he later escaped and killing two deputies in the process. However, Sheriff Garrett was persistent on tracking the outlaw. Garrett shot and killed McCarty by then age 21 in Fort Sumner on July 14, 1881. He died at a young age but had already killed 8 men. Pat Garrett. He was an Old West American lawman, bartender, and customs agent who became famous for killing Billy the Kid. He was born on June 5, 1850, in Chambers County, Alabama. An orphan at 18 years old, Garrett headed west from Louisiana. He left Texas and migrated to New Mexico, where he worked as a cowboy. Garrett was elected sheriff of Lincoln County, New Mexico. It was when his tracking and encounters of Billy the Kid started shortly after. Pat Garrett tracked the Kid down at Fort Sumner in 1880 after multiple misses and brought him to trial. Pat Garrett resumed track of the outlaw after Billy the Kid fled prison, but eventually killed Billy the Kid thereafter. Although his death was a bit controversial, he was also known to be a great sheriff. James Butler Wild Bill Hickok. He was known as a soldier, scout, lawman, gambler, showman, actor, and American Old West folk hero known for his participation in many prominent gunfights. Hickok was born and raised on a farm in northern Illinois. He was involved in several notable shootouts during the course of his life, including one involving David Tutt, where he killed Tutt with a single bullet 75 yards away. He was acquitted after claiming self-defense. Hickok was shot and killed while playing poker in 1876 by another gambler after a perceived insult. Hickok was holding a hand of cards at the time of his death and has become known as the dead man's hand. 2 pairs, black aces and eights. Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp was a lawman and a gambler in Arizona. He was a legend and the central figure of the Old West of the shootout at the OK Corral. Tombstone was the location and origin of Wyatt's legacy, but it was in Dodge City that Wyatt met his future allies, including Doc Holliday. A 5-month vicious and deadly conflict raged between outlaws known as the Cowboys Gang and the Earp brothers. A posse was created by Wyatt Earp and hunted down and killed the rest of the Cowboy Gang. Wyatt Earp was never injured in any of the gunfights. Earp died at his home in Los Angeles, possibly of chronic cystitis, on January 13, 1929, at age 80. Doc Holliday. He was born in Georgia and raised there. He became a dentist who established his career in Atlanta until he became a professional gambler and gunslinger out west. Holliday, like Earp, was a drifter and a risk taker. He met Earp in Texas and the two became lifelong friends. Eventually, Holliday will accompany Earp to Tombstone, Arizona, and fight with him side by side at the OK Corral. At 36, Holliday died in Colorado of tuberculosis. Jesse James. Jesse James, like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, was another celebrated bank and train robber who led the James Younger gang along with his brother Frank. James achieved celebrity status and popularity beginning in 1866 by robbing banks, trains, and stagecoaches in the Midwest. James's life of crime ended after nearly 2 decades on the run when he was shot by new gang recruit Robert Ford, who had been promised by the authorities to be forgiven for past crimes if he killed James. We can never really tell if these men are classed as villains or not, but what we are sure of is that they were all fearless and larger than life. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to watch more video or click the following video recommendations.